It is a very powerful thing when we allow ourselves to use it all the scars, it all becomes part of our tapestry, and instead of blocking it or shaming ourselves from it, we actually can transmute that pain.
Yes, and that's the word. That's the key word right there. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. But if you're denying energy just because in your family there was racism, you're like, no, but I'm not like that. Oh, well, guess what? That DNA will forever be trapped inside of you until you say, you know what? I fully accept. Fully. Whatever it is. And then in the exception gives gateway to transmutation. And not a day before. Not a day before.
I'm Jeff Skultz. I have been on the healing and revealing journey, following my thread to my inner gold. My great honor in life is to sit with the golden ones and discover what they've released in terms of their past stuck stories, what they've revealed in terms of who they are anew, and within that, how we can each celebrate the art of living life golden. Welcome to Drops of Gold.
Hey there, Golden Ones. This episode of Drops of Gold is powered by One Golden Thread, the regenerative nature fashion brand that I created from my mind's eye that we can all live in regenerosity. Enjoy the program, and we've got a special code for you later on to share. You are golden. We are all connected, better together as one golden thread. Okay, fam, welcome to another episode of Drops of Gold. On this episode, we sit with my dear brother and an absolute inspiration in my life, Garrain Jones. Garrain is a transformational coach. He is a mentor to many. He is a best-selling author, a speaker, and he whispers in the ear of the leadership that's inside of you. So listen in, buckle up, and welcome to an invitation to your highest self. Garrain Jones, welcome to Drops of Gold. What a blessing.
Yeah, bro.
What's already transpired. The hummingbird effect is real.
Yeah.
It's such an honor and a blessing to see you, to know you, to be seen by you, to be gifted with your presence. Garrain Jones, welcome to Drops of Gold.
If you spot it, you got it.
Right,
my guy.
There's so many ways that we're going to be given. What a blessing for me to receive with everyone else that's going to be listening to this. A beautiful intention.
If you wouldn't mind, I would love to share a powerful intention and bring everybody to a collective vibrational state.
Oh.
Okay. So if everybody out there and everybody in here wouldn't mind placing a left hand on your heart, right hand on top of the other. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in your nose and out your mouth. In your nose and out your mouth with a sigh. In your nose and out your mouth with a smile. And just listen. As I play this drum, I want you to think about the most meaningful person in your life that just by way of thought brings so much happiness and joy. And as I play this drum, just imagine them in the room with you right now. Hey now, hey now, hey now, now, now. now, now, now. Oh, 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 Deep breath in your nose. Out your mouth with a sigh. Flutter your eyes open. And that's just how much power you have when you are present to yourself.
The golden giggle.
Yeah, bro. Let's get it.
Oh, goodness. So I awoke without an alarm clock at 4:44 this morning. And I'm like, this is going to be a big, beautiful day. I get to sit with my brother, Garrain Jones. Something that he inspired me to do Drops of Gold. He inspired me to go deeper into my voice of expression. And so I started jotting some notes, and I want to share with you what came out.
Yeah.
So if I may.
Yeah, of course.
This might be like 33 deep breaths based upon how long that had.
Let's get it.
So here's what came through. If you seek the gold within, you'll find the wild within the retrieval of your inner child. To let true life begin, access the permission shift that lies, that cannot defile. Garrain Jones, a name known for freedom of expression, all heart and art, mentors us from rejection into ignition. A transformational start, rooted in pain, reframed into a beacon of fame, inspiring people to find their voice and reclaim. Rising from ashes from a life of hardship and plight, from homeless to musician to fashion mogul's might. From mentor to facilitator, a best-selling author's wings, to a father of baby soul, holding space for her living legacy with love to spring. Dancing with fear, to bring abundance, a limitless expression, profound in essence, soul retrieval, the inner child's quest. Remember, release, reframe, reveal, in truth, manifest. Your energy? Pure gold. Amplified in tribe as community, bold. A mentor of thousands, wisdom to lift 43 years shifts, each day's life a precious gift. Change your mindset, change your life's course, a mantra, a mission, cutting through life's remorse. Individual coaching to break through heights, loving potential, reaching new lights. Living in always now a clock, present and true, shattering chrysalis, unveiling the new. Giving by nature, author and guide, igniting souls with love amplified. Fashion maven with transcendent flair, embodies 62 values mirrored by beautiful wife Blair. Co-leaders in the art of care, obliterating doubt, living past despair. Touching rock bottom, transforming a life, revealing there's more from darkness to brightness, a journey of light, emerging from struggle, turning night into bright. Leaving you changed at the core of your gold for your life to mirror the truths you hold. Thank you for seeing the we inside each of me, a speaker, a truth bearer, setting souls free. Pulsating life's beat like a drum, reaching yourself through the art of the child, dancing in abundance regardless of strife. Garrain's wisdom turns life into wild. He says, the bigger the dream, the bigger the test. So nothing is happening to you. It's all for the best. The outside reflects what's inside your brain. The essence of love is where you should, shall, and always remain. Supporting you in living your vibrational truth. This inherent wisdom found in inner child's pure voice of youth. Aligned on goals, values, and actions, you are artist power, expressing with action, always in passion. Transformational mentor for humanity's rise with inner child's laughter touching the skies. Changing your mindset to change your life's way. Garrain, you inspire greatness each and every day.
I'm scooping that all the way in my heart, brother. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for reflecting that. Thank you for sharing your vibrational truth. That is really, really, really beautiful and very true. And I fully accept.
You just embodied for me chapter 1 of the book, Drops of Gold. And I want to acknowledge and reflect the importance of what you do so naturally, which is you stand with a sovereign staff in the ground in your light. And you receive the blessings. You do not block your blessings. And speaking of not blocking our blessings, you are the master storyteller as well. So tell me a story of the hummingbird.
My grandmother, Big Mama, who is the ancestor that was assigned to me, she's on the other side now, but she's on this side right now. Always to my right. And when she passed and I wasn't who I am today, I was like, don't go, don't go, don't go. And everybody in my family, when she was on the hospice, and they were like, don't go, don't go. And I was like, wait a second. Everybody's telling her don't go, but nobody's saying thank you. And so I drove to 6 hours, and it was a really, really bad storm in Houston, and there were people dying on the freeways because of the big floods and everything. Something told me to fly from Los Angeles to Houston to go in a storm. There are no cars that you could rent. And I was like, something is telling me to go see Big Mama while she's in the hospice. And everybody in my family was like, Garrain, don't go. Like, it's so dangerous. I went to go get a rental car, and the only rental car I could get was like the smallest little buggy. And I'm like, there's no possible way that I'm going to make it 6 hours in this big flood. But something said, Garrain, drive that car to Texarkana and go and see your Big Mama. And so what normally would have taken 6 hours took 18 hours. And I just kept driving, and it was in the middle of the day, and it was completely dark. Tornadoes, hurricanes. I kept driving, kept driving, kept driving. By the 18th hour, there was like this poke of light. I'm like, where's the poke of light coming from? All of a sudden, we get to the hospital, and the light was only shining over the hospital, and everywhere around was all thunderstorming. I walk in, and then there's some other family members, and I made everybody leave. Everybody's saying, don't go. And I said, Big Mama, it's Garrain. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for always opening up your home to strangers on the street, giving them a plate of food. Thank you for always feeding us and never asking for anything in return. Thank you for disciplining me the way that you did. Just thank you. And I showered her, and her feet were black. Everything, she had, like, literally her liver had shut down. She hadn't moved in a week. And I just put my hand on 100 places all over her body. And I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. And on the 100th thank you, I saw the crack of her lip go like this. And I said, Big Mama, did you just move? And then she didn't do anything. And then something told me to say, tell Big Mama you got it from here. And I said, Big Mama, I got it from here. And she said, 1 hour later, her physical body was gone. And everybody in my family said, Garrain, she waited for you. And why this is so significant is because every time I encounter a hummingbird, it's a day after some type of just sign that seems like it comes out of nowhere from my grandmother. So, and this has happened since she passed. Yesterday, I didn't even know my mom was in Texarkana visiting my grandmother's grave. And she, out of nowhere, sent me a text message from my grandmother's grave, and said a quote that she always said, be sweet, keep great company, and you'll have a great life. And my mom just randomly said that. I said, Mama, thank you so much. And then it's a day later, and I walk in here. There's a hummingbird. That's my story.
You were a gentle guiding hand for Big Mama.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah.
To invite her into the deepest depths of her eternal peace. And for those that will actually be watching this on YouTube, our masterful editor, Josh Robertson, will actually be showing right now how you so beautifully, when the hummingbird was inside the studio for Drops of Gold.
And it literally landed. I've never seen a hummingbird land.
There's that. And hummingbirds, they'll keep going to the light. So it's in the skylight. And you so gently took the broom, and the hummingbird trusted, received, and was ushered onto the journey outside into the light.
Yeah. Beautiful moment. What a way to start this podcast.
Which of the qualities that we heard earlier about the hummingbird spoke to you about Big Mama? Because there was such a beautiful distillation.
Presence.
Yeah.
Her presence, before I was even aware of what presence was, would make you feel like God in flesh form was in the room. And anytime Big Mama would walk in the room, people would everybody would change into, if you're doing shady stuff or whatever, it's like there was just a... Yeah. And as we walked into the room, we experienced presence.
Yeah.
And then we were just in our joy. And then it was like, and then I was like, okay, I received this moment.
Yeah. So that's the perfect segue into, I've known you for 2+ years now.
Yep.
And we'll get to the story of the drumbeat of how we met. And I just have to share with you, you walking in today, I felt an inner God presence. You are a teacher of transcendence. You are embodying something that is shedding and shining something new. So how are you arriving? Because what's going on, and where you're igniting from is someplace that's awe.
Yeah.
From a place of awe.
Yeah.
And grounded light.
Yeah.
And delight. And I can't wait to hear, how are you? How are we arriving?
I feel like there are no calendars in heaven. So if there's no calendars in heaven, then that means the time that typically controls us has an agenda. But if you don't operate from that time, if you don't get controlled by Happy New Year is going to be my year, and Thanksgiving to finally start connecting with your family, Valentine's to like really start showering your love with love, something you can do every day. So if you're not controlled by the typical time that is human made, but you're operating from the space of the infinite, where there's no time, there's no space, there just is. And you allow yourself to start learning the ABCs of that, which is just pure presence, staying in one space at one time with no splitting energies in your mind, being with your partner, not thinking about work, being at work, thinking about home, and being nowhere and everywhere. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Well, if we're all made of vibration, and in the beginning, they said, biblically, in the beginning there was the word, but the Greek meaning for the word is vibration and sound. And then all of a sudden there's this vibration that emits this frequency. Well, if you start to learn the ABCs of vibration, energy, and frequency, you're playing a game within a game within a game. So you're not even on the same Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They calculate the length of someone's lifespan based off their heart rate. But most people are suffering internally. So their heart rate is faster than it should be. So if you master the art of your life force, your breath, and your breath, things outside of you don't control your anger and rage and all this. One, you defy age, and then you tap into your natural aging process. Your health has the sustainability of nature's resources, which, I mean, it's abundant and it's fruitful and it will last longer than all of us. And so what I have learned is to start playing a game that I actually want to play instead of being the C player in someone else's game. And to put in practical terms, I found a way to hack the matrix that someone had put me into, which is your childhood domestication, reparent myself, and then use the filter of the brave little kid who feels seen, who feels heard, who feels like they matter in the world. And then once your body drops into that state, it gives you access to all of the magic that your ancestors never expressed. So now it's not just you by yourself. You have a whole team of people that are flowing through you. And then that transcends all space and time. And just like a MMA fighter who trains instincts in their body, to the average person who doesn't know what a punch looks like, just me doing like that and they flinch. But to somebody who's trained the instincts in their body, now it's the activating the power of co-creation. That's when God gets involved and slows everything down. So my pace of breathing is not, it's, which slows down my heart rate, which keeps me peaceful and calm during the most extreme times. and the frequency of the little kid who sees themselves and who validates themselves gives me access to those other doorways. And it just happens to come through my vessel in this spirit of a child. And that's what you're experiencing. And I trust it all.
It's very trustable.
Yeah.
Trustable. It's interesting because we live in this world of breath work, and oftentimes it's about speeding up to access something, and what I'm receiving from you, it's actually, it's breath love. It's just like every breath is slow and deep. Like, show us for you, when you're going through a day and there's things happening, like what is that?
So I'll give you an exercise that I do right now.
Let's do the exercise.
People see when I wake up at 4:15, 4:20 in the morning, and they're like, oh man, I'm going to go run and everything. But they don't know exactly what I do. There are no street lights. So I train in the dark. When I'm in the gym, I don't train, I don't turn a light on before the sun starts coming up because I don't want to mess up my circadian rhythm. So I will literally train with no lights on. And what that does is it allows me to adjust to a different level of sight. There's eyes that you can see with your actual eyes. But in the cosmic realm, we probably can see 4%. But if you can train yourself to see with your inside eyes, the insight, which is why Stevie Wonder can paint these beautiful pictures without the eyesight. So when I train in the dark. And when I first started going, I was hearing all these sounds. I'm like, oh, and I'm getting afraid and everything. And all of a sudden I started to adjust to the sounds because I literally became all the sounds. So now when dark stuff starts to happen, I encounter dark entities and everything. It doesn't faze me because I trained in the dark. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. Yeah. However, when I go out, how somebody typically breathes when they run, they're like, and then they get tired. My allergies are kicked up right now, but typically I breathe through my nose when I'm running, and every 3 steps, I breathe in. Another 3 steps, I breathe out, only through my nose. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. And I got rolling hills. And when I first started running, I couldn't even do 1 mile. Now I can do 10 miles, every 3 steps, only through my nose. And it's how do you train yourself to breathe as calm as possible while putting your physical body through extremes. After one setting of that, what normally would happen when I would get in an argument with my wife, and then all of a sudden I start breathing weird and my body gets hot, all of a sudden I tapped into another energy, and all of a sudden I said 2, 3, what I trained for, and all of a sudden my whole nervous system goes. I call that the dragon that protects the castle. I do that same thing in the cold plunge, same thing in the sauna, same thing on cycling, same thing. I have 15 dragons that protect the castle. Most people have none. So that one thing, you could literally right now start going. So my everyday waking moment, I don't have the same breathing pattern. So because I don't have the same breathing pattern, I also don't have I'm not operating off the same time. I elongate time. They measure the lifespan based off of heart rate variability, the measure of breaths and all these things. So if I extend my breath and it now becomes my new normal, my calendar is completely different. My time is completely different. And so I don't call this the fountain of youth. I call it the fountain of you.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
In your book, Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life, you talk about the power of imagination.
Oh, yeah.
And you've embody that, and you had some of the stories you share from your childhood of moments of even your imagination being told to be shut down, and you obliterated that and what have you. But I know you had superheroes as a child. Like, I'd love to hear who your superhero vision was of yourself as a child, and whether that changed now looking back as a child.
Yeah. So, it was so interesting. I used to always ask, I'm like, why is my life so hard?
Yeah.
Why is it so difficult? Like, I'm like, God, why does it feel like I'm living 15, 20 different people's lives? Why is it, man, it's just so difficult. And then now when I see the many types of people that I've been able to impact.
Yeah.
I was never a gangbanger, but I ran around with gangs. I did the same thing that they did. I was in prison for 2.5 years, serving a 12-year sentence. I used to be a stripper when I was 18. I used to, I smuggled drugs into a country. Like, I slept around with like so many women. I cheated on almost every single girlfriend I ever had. I've been many different variations of myself. And when I overcame every single one of those, it's like when you play video games and there's a dragon at the end of the round that's going to test you to see if you're ready to go to the next level. Yeah. I have literally defeated, I won't say everyone because growth is infinite, but up to this point, everything that has caused energy leakages, leaky sexual energy, all those things, those were dragons that nobody in my family has ever been able to beat. My whole family was born out of infidelity. My brother found a chest after my big mama died. And underneath the chest was this secret door. And in the door were these letters that were over 100 years old, and nobody had seen them before. And they were secret letters from my great-great-grandmother, who was writing this letter about how she was in an affair with someone. And in that affair, my whole lineage was born. So my lineage was born out of infidelity, wondering why I was cheating on every girlfriend I ever had. Sometimes it ain't your stuff. Sometimes you're carrying, just like you carry your ancestors' DNA, you will carry on certain things from your past. So it makes so much sense why the last boy that was born in 3 generations of my family, everybody, girl. My mother had 7 brothers and sisters. Everybody had girls. Their kids had girls. Their kids. The last boy was me almost 45 years ago. And we're about to give birth to another boy, Chief, in a month and a half. So it would make sense because I stopped the thing that was in my whole lineage of family. When it came to that leaky sexual energy, that undertone. And I say all of that to share sometimes that you might be fighting a battle that supersedes this lifetime. But if you don't learn how to accept your full self, and accepting your full self is also accepting any karma from your family, like anything, whether it's racism, whether it's all the weird ass stuff that people try to separate themselves. Oh yeah, but I'm not like my family, but all their DNA literally is inside of you. So by not at least accepting, you deny full embodiment of yourself, because there is no healing without full self-acceptance. So what I've learned how to do is said, whether it's dark, whether it's light, whether it's magical, whether it was evil, if it was in my lineage, I accept it all. Oh. So now it makes sense why. When I accepted it all, it probably freed a lot of them. And through their freedom, whatever their spiritual gifts were, now comes through this one vessel who chose to be the person to lead this lineage. You asked me another question, and this is what came out.
Well, what I love within that, there's so many things that are The fact that you transform the dragon from the enemy to the protector is so powerful, and that
You can
came
tame
from
any energy.
That came from the acceptance, and the love, and the forgiveness, and the allowance to transmute it, and to use it all, and to go deeper into the blessing, and the gratitude, and that's. It is a very powerful thing when we allow ourselves to use it all the scars, it all becomes part of our tapestry, and instead of blocking it or shaming ourselves from it, we actually can transmute that pain.
Yes. And that's the word. That's the key word right there. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. But if you're denying energy just because in your family there was racism, you're like, no, but I'm not like that. Oh, well, guess what? That DNA will forever be trapped inside of you until you say, you know what? I fully accept. Fully. Whatever it is. And then in the exception gives gateway to transmutation. And not a day before. Not a day before. It's the filtration system.
That's the golden mic drop right there. Every co-spirator, when we get to a point where I get chills from head to toe, it's funny, like, I don't know about the rest of the world, but when it comes from the heavens, comes from the earth, it lands in my nipples. Like, my nipples get really hard. And
I would have never expected you to say that.
it's just true, man. So it's just like truth. And so it's just like, let's say, how we doing? Yep. So in this moment, I love asking, what's the sound of the golden mic drop? Everybody's got a different sound. What's the sound? And because you, being an orator, being a musician, what is the sound of the golden mic drop?
Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
Yep, keep going.
Hey now.
Yep.
Hey now.
Let's go.
That's my first singing moment.
Yeah.
All right, I guess this is a precursor for tonight.
Yeah.
What's tonight called? Claim your
Voices of expression.
Voices of expression. So, the reason why I asked the question about the superhero.
That was your original question.
But it's beautiful because I want to bring it full circle. You talked about the new version of the Avengers is the Ascenders.
Ascenders, yeah.
Ascenders.
Avengers of consciousness.
So let's talk about, like, what are the superpowers that we get to embody to come deeper in? We've already talked about, two have already dropped for me, which is so powerful, which is just, yes, slow down the voice, slow down the breathing within there, you'll find your voice. Let's talk about some of the other superpowers we get to embody and how do we access those.
I will share with you this. Flowers that grow together grow in bunches much faster than they do by themselves. Mm. And when you are energetically aligned with a collective of people who are connected to one another, but like really no weird human type shit in the way.
Yeah.
It's like really connected. Everybody starts benefiting from everybody's genius. And then all of a sudden, the one person becomes a body of people. Instead of the one person leading everybody with a deep need to feel needed, there is, of course, order needs direction, clear. So typically person who says yes first, or they trust themselves the most. There's a direction. But there's the gift of voice. There's the gift of understanding vibration beyond the human palate. There's the gift of being able to see the unseen, hear the unheard, feel the unfelt, and operate in such a way where life cosmically makes sense without any effort, without any force on an exterior plane. And I would say the most important gift that you receive is the gift of who you really are in all of your bigness. I was 13 years old, and I remember seeing Gandhi, and I remember seeing Nelson Mandela, and I was like, that's me. And instantly I said, those are the kind of people who get killed. And I shut that part off. Until maybe less than a year ago. And Big Mama visited me in a meditation. And she said, Garrain, you weren't meant to be the most polarizing person in the world. You were meant to whisper great secrets in the most powerful leaders' ears. Yeah. That is a gift of yours. Because people trust you. Yeah. Because you can speak to parts of most people that they haven't yet given a voice yet. And because you don't have any ulterior motives, they let you into parts of their lives that most of the time they don't even let their own spouses. It's the gift of like deep trust and safety. They can't kill who they can't see. So now the one person becomes a body of leaders. And so my role is to elevate or speak into a vibration that elevates people into who they really are, deep down on the inside, the one that you didn't think that nobody paid attention to, that aspect of you. And so if that happens to be voice, if it has to be singing, dancing, if it happens to be you were a little kid and all of a sudden you could code things in your brain, but you would never say that out loud because people would call you weird. Well, we just happen to attract all the creative misfits, and there's a whole lane for all the weirdos there, which are actually not weird. These are the people that literally have the power to move the consciousness forward. But they've got to truly step into their artistry. And I feel that there's an artist revolution right now. And why am I saying it, our artist revolution? Because anybody that's coming from a place of creativity, the creator begets creators. So in the frequency of creativity, you're literally accessing the power of God. That is the power of co-creation. So there is an artist revolution. People are waiting for somebody who's already here, coming through the spectrum of light. And that's the people who choose to own their true light. Truly. You don't need to wait for someone who's already here, coming back through the light bearers that says, okay, all of me is welcome. So the most important gift that someone gets is the gift of their authentic self.
I just think about the visual of concentric circles spinning outward in terms of creators, but there's something that is transcending now, and it feels like it's a visual chording of frequency and vibration just mashing up into some new synesthetic thing that doesn't I'm not even sure what it is, which is it's spinning outward and it's spinning back, and it literally becomes this shared energy. That's what feels like it's present and prescient with what's happening with the creators such as yourself and others that are sitting in this room. And that is where transcendent begins, because it doesn't need to feel like a heavy lift. It can feel like a golden gift.
For sure. Yes, 100%. Because in the transcendent frequency, it's always protected.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that, so they fear putting themselves out there, not even realize that whole plane is protected. Now, if the human gets in the way, the ego gets in the way, and then you're like, oh, how can I scale this and how can I do all this other stuff? Now, that's the stuff that starts causing the energy leakages. And so when you are truly transcending the human construct and you're in that frequency, it's going to always be guided. It's going to always be protected. And it's a spiral. Think in terms of like people think like rage or anger or something like that. Those energetic fields are not just like here and there's a thing. Everything is a spiral that goes like this. Think of a tornado. It's going like this. Boom, boom, boom. It's going like this. So if you understand how to harmonize with your body and understand how to, because as many people dance, they're off rhythm. I already know your vessel it's out of alignment. If I say, hey, do this note, da da da, and you go da da da, that means what you hear can't not be duplicated. So there's a break in your listening, because da 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 is carrying a vibration and a frequency. So if you can get good with tone and get good with rhythm, now you can understand the rhythms of nature. Now you become a part of nature. And anything that becomes a part of nature benefits from nature's resources. Money, love, relationships, all of that is like fruits on the abundance tree. So what I feel, one of my greatest gifts in business, I served on a strategy and planning board for $8 billion company for over 10 years, sat in meetings for 4 hours once a week. And one of my greatest gifts is to be able to forecast things long before they arrive. And that's what I've done in every organization. I was like, I sent something. Okay, so let me prepare people and give them these tools. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready, so that you can navigate the ocean of emotion and change with the tides. And so what I sense now is that as we're growing into Earth 2.0, we're in it, because you can see what's going on. And every time you turn on the TV, there's all these, the energies are getting even darker and more vast. You cannot have that level of dark without having the equal of its equivalent in light. And so as we shift into Earth 2.0, I sense the forecast that there will be a human 2.0, which I call the harmonized human. One who is in harmony with nature as it was designed, with nature as you were designed. The harmonized human, H2O. And I feel that the people who will thrive, because there's always people that get left behind because they don't change with the times. The people who will thrive in this next phase of what we're growing through with all the AI stuff and all this stuff, and they're spending trillions of dollars humanizing robots and dehumanizing actual fucking humans. I feel that the humans that will thrive will be the humans that are the most grounded in the earth, where all of their energy centers are activated and their throat chakra is open. So that's why being able to carry a tone is so important, because the most closed chakra is the throat chakra. People don't know how to speak and be their truth, vibrationally match, vibrational truth and everything. So they play little games with themselves, overcompensating in all these other areas. But when the throat chakra is open, that's the palette that opens up to every single thing else. And they think it's this way. But you got to understand, think how it's landing on the humans. It's not here why statistically the most feared thing in the world, more than death, is public speaking. That's all throat chakra. People afraid to speak, have tough conversations, share share who they really are, share their real thoughts because of that's all throat chakra. So I feel and I sense in the deepest root of my roots and the roots behind that the people who will thrive will be people whose throat chakra is wide open. Yes. Energy centers are aligned, and they're the most grounded in nature's principles.
Fuck yeah.
Hints.
Man, you just
Hints.
Please.
Voices of expression.
Yes.
Is me teaching all those codes.
Man, the level of which you just distilled the two-pronged approach of where I've come from is precise and powerful to receive it in the blessing of your expression. My throat chakra was closed for 42 years, and I had a disease inside. I had walking pneumonia 4 times in my 30s and 40s, and it was just always just suppressing and compressing me, and I also wasn't connected to my body, and wasn't earth connected, and the moment that I unleashed and couldn't I disavowed myself from living that way any longer, and I shared this Life 2.0 letter that I wrote to myself as a humanifesto, and that's what started One Golden Thread.
No, I remember that.
And then this notion around if I'm going to design for me, just for me, the world's perfect tea, I want it to be in so harmony with nature that would also give back to nature. And so from the beginning, it was always about the most ethical supernature things that we then give back with the give back impact of planting trees. And so being rooted, because the forgotten frontier, we thought about the thoughts we think, what are the words we speak, what is the food we eat, but the clothes we wear was a forgotten frontier. And so to go back into that and to realize that One Golden Thread started as a freedom of expression, and to be in harmony with nature. And now full circle, what is birthed this week is launched yesterday, which is a space and a place with grace to come together with community, with love, on Abbot Kinney in Venice, and an experiential retail in a space called the Oasis in the back, to bring together thought speakers and leaders and lovers and gifters and lifters. And that's what we're creating.
Yes,
and
brother.
so this notion of the throat chakra is so beautiful, because I wanted to ask you, and it leads into this notion around change your mindset, change the game. Yes, and the embodiment of you the way that you access your inner child through movement is one of the things that was so powerful. Okay, friends, sitting with Garrain Jones reminds me that when we come from intention first, magic unfolds, and we do for connection and love. I think back to when I started One Golden Thread in 2016, and it started with the intent to wrap the world with a golden thread, to remind every single human being that was touched that there's gold that resides inside you, and that this gold that's inside us is the thread that will unite us. Now, it started there, and then I wanted to create for me the world's perfect tea, and so it unfolded that others seemed to agree. Welcome to, for me, what is an offering to the world, that we can clothe the kings and those that abide by the philosophy of regenerosity. And we have a special code for you. If you have not tried One Golden Thread, you are invited to try what others have found, which is a feeling of being somatically connected to our human nature. Special code for you at checkout is drops of gold at onegoldenthread.com. I'd love to talk about the Queen of Soul.
My wife, Blair. I love her so much. I'll marry her again.
Yes.
Where I'd love to start with that is you have so beautifully talked about that you called in 62 values.
Yeah.
And she embodied all those values. Yeah. Which of those values in today or yesterday or in this present incarnation are just speaking so deeply to the art of your heart?
Her relationship with God, masculine and can easily slip into her feminine. Her pursuit of continuously evolving. And the way that she holds me accountable and sees things in me that I've never seen in myself, and I rise into it. Yeah.
You're going through a beautiful, masterful new chapter in invocation with your family.
Yeah.
Tell us about how that is manifesting and even what maybe transpired yesterday with her mother blessing.
Mother's blessing, yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, from what I gathered, I'm from the outside looking in, and it's mother's blessing is where a group of selected mothers and mothers-to-be and specific women come together in ceremony to celebrate and honor the mother-to-be, or and celebrate and create this like womb of love with celebration and nourishing food and honoring, and it's an outpour of love for the woman who's pregnant, is about to give a birth to a baby soon, but with the intention of making her feel seen and heard, and like she has tribe and community, and so that she can soften into her essence, which is what is needed. Which is you're looking at the picture now, but yeah, which is what is needed for they'll show that picture. But soften into her feminine essence, which is what is needed for the cervix to soften, to prepare for the baby to be birthed. So it's a whole celebration. Why it was the most special moment for me, something I'd never seen. Blair said, I want to celebrate the women who are coming. I said, why? She said, because I want to bless them. And I'm like, in what way? She was like, Garrain, when the women come, I want them to be greeted by you, and I want you to give them some affirmation. And then she put together this golden bowl that had water and rose petals in it. And then you have them sit down, you bathe their feet, dry their feet, and just give them words. And each woman was crying and everything. And then after they left me, the divine masculine, she greeted them with copal and a feather and gave their words of affirmation. And then after they were done with Blair, they connected with Carly and Giovanna, which is Blair's best friends, which took them down into our ceremony room where there was red lights, there's sauna, there's cold plunge, there's biomats, there was a sound healing. And she wanted all of these women to feel seen and heard and special. And I was like, oh, mother's blessing. The mother was blessing the women. And she flipped it. And I was like, the level of selflessness to take your shining moment and reflect that to others so that they may shine, and curate an entire environment of wanting them to feel so good and seen and heard and feel like they're loved. None of the women that knew that they were coming into this. And then I asked her, I was like, how did you feel? She was like, it was exactly how I pictured it. It was exactly how I had envisioned. And all of the women were happy and they were filled. And she said, and I was happy. Typically in those type of events, she's at the end, she's like tired and everything. And then I screenshotted it and I sent it back to her. I said, that last statement that you said is what matters to me the most. You were happy. Wow, baby. That is such a master class, and I am learning. Wow, I've never seen that level of selflessness in that way. I truly feel blessed by the mother. Because then she said, hey, Garrain, come here for a second. And then at the end, she brought me down, gave me words of affirmations, had me sit down, and then she bathed my feet. And I was like, you want to get married again? So it was so beautiful. And the fact that she felt soft and everybody else felt soft and everybody was pouring into everybody. Because when it's truly an integrity of service, in the serving is the receiving. And she felt so filled up. And now all these women are texting me and they were like, Garrain, thank you so much for how much you honored your wife and you were there for us yesterday. And I was like, this is a master. I was like, how did you do that? I would have never thought of that. And it was just so beautiful. And I'm like, wow, who she is being right now is inspiring me to level up in ways that I didn't even know existed inside of my vessel. And if that's the environment that Baby Chief has chosen in his ethereal realm, and just like, I want you to do this, and I want you to do this, and I want y'all to get through this fight, and because I'm not coming into an old environment. Like, they don't go from iPhone 5 to iPhone 1. They're like, upgrade. And I feel like Baby Chief is like, this is the environment I want to come into. Daddy, you being the chief and protector and provider in vibration and frequency in our family. And then Mommy, you being the stay-at-home oracle that you are.
Shout out to Blair.
Shout out to Blair. I will marry her again. Again and again.
And Chief is here to do what? Channeling.
Chief, CHIEF, channeling humanity into elevated frequencies.
Yes. What?
Chief, channeling humanity into elevated frequencies.
So now it makes sense why vibrationally I'm channeling humanity into elevated frequencies.
Mirrors reflecting mirrors and reflecting mirrors. We don't need to go too far back to your birthday last year, where you did the same thing, my friend. On your day, where the light was shining upon you, you asked us to come into circle, and you asked each of us to voice our expression of what was our bigness. That we were going to deliverness. Every one of us.
Absolutely.
Got to step into the light while you stood in that presence. So. Thank you.
You're always welcome.
Thank you, Blair. Thank you. Yeah. It's the me inside each of we. I love that.
It's very rare. I just want to say, I'm going to look at the camera, that Jeff has no words to say. This dude is a wise genius. But when the vibration is speaking more than any word, and his human can't catch up with that vibration, that's just saying this collaboration is magical, my friend.
It's been from day one.
Yeah, right.
Let's go there. So,
Yeah.
So
How Jeff and I met.
let's go there.
I was asked to come to the Capitol in Austin, Texas, and play my drum. I had a shattered calf. I was on crutches. And I brought my drum with my crutches, wearing my pink socks. And I was like, and there was a man in the corner. I was like, there's something different about this. I don't even know who it is, but I think I seen him on an ad and something. But it's like there was something different. And, you know, and it's almost like Phil Jackson is the guy who coached Kobe Bryant to a championship, Michael Jordan to a championship. He could see 600 basketball players and instantly go, I want to build a team around that person. So the frame of how I see life, it's coded by, like, I don't see people, I experience people and their vibration. And Jeff was all the way over in the corner before I met him in this lifetime. I was like, something about this guy, and I just, something telling, just, I'm drumming, I'm having everybody drum. I'm like, come in there. And he like kind of hesitated a little bit. And then I know when there's a little kid inside of adult that wants to do something that doesn't give themselves permission to do it, because I'm zoned in on the kid the entire time. And I saw his kid question and go back and forth, and all of a sudden I saw his kid just let go. I have permission. And that is how I remember meeting you, is your little kid giving your little kid permission to drum and dance and play and smile and everything. Then I was like, hey, my name is Garrain. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. I was like, I really like that outfit. And you took the outfit off. You took the duster off. And I still have it today. I wore it on the plane yesterday. Took it off. I said, I want you to have this. And I was like, nice to meet you too. I'm like, what? This is how it should be, meeting people in their magic, in their gift, in the blessing, the blessed field of your authentic frequency. What's your version of how you
2 weeks prior to being invited to Austin to go to this moment at the Capitol, this guy starts showing up on my feed, and he's just like lighting the matrix up with clear cut, butcher to the soul wisdom. And I'm like, this guy can't be for real. But I'd love to meet him one day. I get a call from Jeannie and David Weber and Joshua Barber. Come to the Capitol, something special. I hadn't actually met Joshua yet, but he was a big fan of One Golden Thread, the brand. He's like, oh, come on out. I'd love to meet you. So, and I knew that, I said, there's somebody in Austin I wish would be there, because I knew he lives there, and his name's Garrain Jones. He's this guy who's just been blowing up my feed, and he's just devouring his deliciousness, his content. And I show up at this, right in the circle, and for those watching on YouTube, you'll actually see the video, because somebody actually filmed it from above, is that we're having this moment, and Garrain walks out from this corner, and I'm like, that's Garrain, that's him, that's Garrain Jones. And he walks in the middle, and he hey, oh, brings us up, brings us in, has the drum, and he's going, and he literally scans the room, and he looks at me, he goes, whew. And I actually if I hesitated, it might have been for a nanosecond. But
Yeah.
you saw that nano.
Well, the nanosecond was
You saw that
planets
nano
apart from me.
exactly. And I stepped in and I sat down on this wooden this wooden box, and I start beating this drum, and I am wailing on this drum, and I felt like I was ascending and all these, and I went and I just looked, you nodded my head, went back, and there was talks and speakers, and the temperature dropped and it started getting cold, and I noticed out of the corner of my eye Garrain's over there and he's wearing a t-shirt, and all the adrenaline had rushed off, and I could feel he was cold. I just felt it. And so I took my duster off and I walked over and I said, "This is yours." And he looked at me, and then we had a moment that somebody else took a picture of us standing in front of each other. I just said,
I remember that picture.
I just said, I see you, and I'm honored to be received by you. And that's the way our relationship started. It was pure. It was pure adulation, pure love, pure expression. And I just have so much, just by the grace of God, that I get to call you a dear brother and a mirror and amplifier, and it's just an honor to know you.
Well, it's nice to meet you too.
We do the Viking handshake. You like the Viking handshake?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Can't
know
make
it.
this up because I did this with them that morning.
Oh snap!
This morning, I took them through a workout, and we closed it out with that. Can't make it up. Can't make it up.
So, what is the magic of this one? I love this one. So there's three things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, go.
Yeah. So typically,
Yeah.
honor, strength, power, respect, presence. Boom. It's like, I see you. And so after we go through something, it's just like, boom. And then the release. What about for you?
Well, so when you go left hand, and then
Jeff always got something. I'm like,
and then,
you got
and
the nuggets.
the thumb is right on the inside. So we're both on each other's heart line. You actually can feel somebody's pulse. And then it's left, and then when it's left, it actually invites you to go no other place but left eye, which is the seat of our soul, the window of the soul.
Bars.
And
I love that.
and then the reason they did it's called the Viking handshake is that you're close enough. I could actually see whether you're carrying a knife, and so I could pull you in if need be. But this
Got
is
it.
all just like a place of love, and you're in
Got it.
proximity. You're in closer proximity. So that's the knife fight thing's the old way, but the new way of love is just like I see you
Yeah.
and I receive you.
Yeah.
Ashe.
I'm transferring to that one. I like that one. I like that one.
Left eye,
Yeah,
left
yeah.
eye.
I love that
Here we
one.
grow.
Yeah.
We could do this for days. I feel like we've gone for infinite lifetimes. What would you, how would you like to bring us home? Where would you like to go with this? Maybe with a few other moments, including I just also want to also just say I design benevolent threads for kings, and I designed it for myself first. And to see that you've actually enjoyed wearing the creation from my heart means the world to me, because it's powerful to see the kings wearing the clothes that speak to their souls.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I love these shorts that y'all just came out with too. I got the black ones and these.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a limited scope of love, it will block the majority of your spiritual gifts. It will block the majority of your wisdom. It will block the full embodiment of self. So whatever you have to do, How can you love bigger, more, stronger? And if you look into the places where you hide in your life, under the insecurities, under the justifications, inside of the overworking, inside of the food, inside of the pornography, and then you look in the mirror when the truth shows up and nobody's around. And if you can look at that aspect of you, not the part that you show people, the part that nobody gets to experience, and you say, and I love you too. And you allow yourself to spend intimate time with that aspect of you. Life is going to reveal to you what may feel like a secret, a universal secret, but it's only life responding to your being as you start to raise your vibration. It is difficult to raise your vibration operating from half of yourself or parts of yourself. That is like turning on 600 pounds of water pressure, but you have 15 knots tied in the hose. To accept your full self, to love your full self, even the difficult parts, even the dark parts, and say, I am this too, and I love this part of me too, and I receive all of me, will be the gateway to your inner freedom. And that is the power to possess your own mind. Because you cannot fight for something that only you can give to yourself. If you take this and apply it as much as you can, your life will be very sweet. And you'll have good people around you. And you'll be genuinely happy. I'm complete.
We complete to continue.
Yep.
Garrain Jones.
Expansion.
Thank you for being pure, light, love, vibrational energy. Thank you for being a friend and a blessing to humanity. We rise in chief. Thank you for being on Drops of Gold. Aho.
Aho.
I love you, brother.
Love you too, brother.
Thank you for joining us on Drops of Gold. We trust you found listening as delightful as we found creating. Now let me tell you, it takes a village to nourish a dream. Big shout outs to One Golden Thread for powering the pod, to co-producers Mark Shapiro, Josh Robertson, and Victory for bringing it all to life, Kat Benzova for her stunning guest portraits, and special thanks to artist Taib for featuring his electrifying new track, Departures. And infinite love to you for your curiosity and commitment to living in your highest vibrational truth. Aho! Here we grow. We are all designed to be reminded we are already golden inside. I'm Jeff Sculp, wishing you a radically yes fuck yes day. Ashe.
TV.